This is the Ring of Honor, a.k.a. Shane T, boy, the baddest champion you ever seen, boy.
This is Mr. Anderson.
This is good old JR Jim Ross, and you are listening.
You're listening to Knockouts in 3 Counts.
Cover! We got a new world champion!
That might be one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
Knockouts in 3 Counts is the podcast, baby! It's the real deal, baby!
Knockouts in 3 Counts starts now.
Ooh, what up, no? It is another Tuesday, and man, did we have a hell of a weekend with Rob Van Dam. Look at that. My biceps look good. That being said, Astronomicon is in the books. For any of you guys who missed it, yes, we got Chris. What up, though? Yes, we did get to talk to Rob Van Dam. Shout out to everybody at Astronomicon. Thanks for having us. Shout out to our guy, Darren McCarty, who was down there and gave us quite the pep talk before we hopped on with Mr. Monday Night. The whole fucking show, Rob Van Dam. Shout out to Gangrel and the GWC. You butterball biscuits, bro. It was a good weekend. J-Bone, what were your thoughts on Astronomicon?
Bro, you already know.
If anybody was there at Astronomicon or has checked out that interview with Rob Van Dam, throw me up one of these in the comments.
What a time, man. But like you said, dude, just strip it all away, strip everything away. Everybody we talked to, everybody we got to meet up with. The fact that Detroit's own D-Mac still takes the time to just pep talk people and just be there for people like he always has, man. We've always said it. We don't deserve a guy like that. And just the fact that he's there, man, are we blessed? You know what I mean? So shout out to D-Mac just for everything he does for everybody. And everybody that was just cool, man. Like, we just hung out all day. Like, how cool was it just to shoot the shit with everybody? Gangrel, RVD, Steve from GWC, Peter, Dante, my buddy Jimmy from high school was there running one of the comic book store things, man. The 20x20 guys, just everybody that was involved. It was just such a good collective, and it just, what a time, man. You can't ask for much more than that at a Comic-Con. I got to meet the guys that played Michael Myers. Like, how cool is shit like that? You know what I mean? If you've never been to a Comic-Con or an Astronomicon, get your ass there, because it is so worth it, and you're gonna have such a great time. And we had a great time, didn't we?
I can't argue with that, dude. We got to knock off one of the biggest interviews we've gotten to do so far, and one of Michigan's own, and Rob Van Dam, and obviously, like you said, all the people that we got to link up with. Talk to me a little bit about some of the crazy shit that we saw walking around there, because I'm just sharing it out to let everybody know. If you guys are hopping in the stream, what up, though? We're talking about Astronomicon 6.5. We're going to show you a little bit of our interview with Rob Van Dam here in a few minutes. And J-Bone's going to tell you some of the crazy shit we seen, like that crazy tall-ass lady that came up there while I was interviewing Van Dam. Like, oh, my God.
She got a little cameo in the interview there. But one of the cool things for me, so there was a guy that was walking around dressed as Michael Myers with the Halloween theme. It must have had, like, a speaker in his costume or something. I don't know how that was going down, but him and another guy that was dressed up as the original version of Michael Myers. So you had the Rob Zombie version and the original 1978 version of Michael Myers. They had a standoff, and they stood there for a few minutes, man. Just did the classic Michael Myers standoff, which is cool. Very cool stuff. You got the guys from Clerks that were cool. They were walking around. Kevin Smith was there. Harley Quinn Smith, his daughter, was there. It just, like I said, what can you ask for at a Comic-Con, right? Or at a Astronomicon 6.5, as you call this. Everything that was there was something for everybody. Like I said, the 20x20 guys, they were cool. How many times did we stop and talk to them, Kyle? I wish I could have got a shirt.
Shout out to the guys from 20x20. If you haven't checked them out, you need to. That being said, speaking of all the cool things that you can see at a Comic-Con, let's talk about those cool fucking things that you can see at a Comic-Con. Since thanks to J-Bone, the Knockouts in 3 Counts home studio got a few renovations since J-Bone had to try to make me come home with some shit. Check out the new Funko Pops that are now like the desk watch of my as you can see, they're falling all over the place.
It's all right.
I've got Stone Cold. Stone Cold is in here. And then we've got trying to bring all this all over here so you can see it.
Make sure you present this well. This is a classic.
If you can see here, that is the Hulk Hogan and Andre WrestleMania 3 Funko Pops. Stone Cold's in there, so I made it a triple threat match. And that's not all, thanks to J-Bone.
I walked around with Kyle. I had Kyle in a hammerlock, and I was like, "You're gonna buy this, man. You gotta buy this." And he was just buying stuff. He was just all about the Benjamins, baby. He was just putting the money out there. But he got some good stuff. Look at that.
And then who
would not buy that? Look at that.
That's a Stone Cold versus Triple H Judgment Day 2001 poster is now gonna go up somewhere here in the Knockouts and 3 Count Studios. The things that you find at a Comic-Con, you know what I mean? Like I said, you end up with Funko Pops that I never should have bought. I end up with old pay-per-view posters, and J-Bone, all he bought was a fucking poster. You see this?
It's a
bullshit. Yeah, so is this.
Look, you're going to thank me in 20, 30 years when we're sitting here in our walkers and we're still doing knockouts and 3 counts. You're like, I'm glad I bought that 2001 Judgment Day poster 39, 40 years ago. You'll thank me later.
Hey, I'm not all mad about it,
Kyle. I just showed it to you. You were the one that dipped your feet in it,
Shit, I jumped all the way and I ended up walking out of there. Between that, the Lita, meeting Lita and all that stuff, man, I walked out of there. I spent too much money.
Worth it.
It was, but still, fuck you. But
back. Your time won't, as they say.
This is true, which is why I'm so glad that we got to do that. Like I said, we got to walk around, shoot the shit with D-Mac a little bit. Gangrel couldn't have been cooler. Shout out to GWC. Talked to Buff Bagwell for a minute. They had Demolition was there. That was an interesting one. Didn't get to chat with them too much. But before we show them a little clip of our interview with Rob Van Dam, what were your thoughts on our chat with Mr. Van Dam?
Man, what a down-to-earth cool guy, man. Like, I got to chat with him a little bit off camera, and the reception he had just for people that love wrestling and just the people that, are vocal with him and just almost willing to approach him. You know what I mean? He was so cool to just sit there and talk with, to shoot the shit, man. And like you said, even after the interview, he opened up to us, you know what I mean? So the interview is great. Hopefully you guys go check it out on YouTube.
I got the link, posting the link here in the comments, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube as we speak. There you go. And I got a clip for you guys to check out of our chat with Rob Van Dam. Like I said, the link to the full chat is in the comments. It was a great time. Like you said, the guy couldn't have been cooler. And before I show you this, shout out to Bulletproof Troop. If Bulletproof Troop wouldn't have shot him a line and helped set it up and kind of did the introduction, I don't think it would have went as smoothly. Definitely went cool. I would have liked to have seen how Rob Van Dam would have done in MMA, which I'll release a clip from that soon. But without any further ado, check out a little clip from our episode with the whole fucking show, Rob Van Dam. Boom. So here we go.
ECW was the most fun.
Okay.
And I've always been drawn to the hardcore aspect. So in WWE, I was the most happiest. Is that really heroes?
Yeah, you're good. I got them.
Amazing. Okay. I was at the peak of my happiness, motivation, everything when I represented ECW, or when I had the hardcore championship, or even if it was in a ladder match, I'd be like yes, because then I knew that was my
you can show your talents. Man, that match with you and Jeff in Invasion 2001 was one of my favorites, man.
Yeah.
When you hit the Van Daminator and knocked him into that pit in Cleveland, dude, that was dope.
Yeah.
I still remember, I remember back in the days when we were still recording on the damn VHS. I had it for the longest time. They had to bug them to get the pay-per-view. Then you put the damn thing on the VHS. You know.
So there you go. There's a little clip from our interview with Rob Van Dam. If you didn't check it out, like I said, the link to that is in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you'll never miss any of the action from your friends over here at Knockouts and 3 Counts. But with that being said, I think it's safe to say Astronomicon was a great success. Again, shout out to them for having us. It was great to be there. Also, on Saturday, I got to be behind the mic for Lights Out 12 on commentary. Check out the replay at Spectation Sports. Shout out to past guests of the show, Austin Bashy, coming up with another quick dub, and his cousin, Carlo Bashy, who got a dub that night as well. Both of them winning by rear naked choke. Big shout out to Matt Frendo and my partner and past guest of the show, Drew All Day Murray, who will be joining us this Thursday to give you a little bit of a recap on Lights Out 12, and we'll also be giving you our preview to this week's UFC card and the rematch between Alexander Volkanovski and Yair Rodriguez. But we've got a lot of wrestling to talk about, as well as this weekend you have Money in the Bank, but this past weekend we had Forbidden Door, which we got into after we left Astronomicon. J-Bone, what are your thoughts on Forbidden Door? And anybody who's watching, make sure you guys hit that like button, share it, let everybody know you're watching. Let us know what you thought of Forbidden Door, but what were your thoughts on this show?
Bro, is there a time in that pay-per-view where you could really just sit back and be like, I'm going to take a break here? Absolutely not. From start to finish, that pay-per-view delivered every single match, from the Punk entrance to Ospreay and Kenny Omega story, to Bryan Danielson and Okada. Every single thing in between was amazing. That was one of the great pay-per-views. And that's what I like about that. So that pay-per-view particularly, Kyle, and we know how wrestling works. You always want, and I think I mentioned it while we were watching it, was there going to be somebody else that steps through the quote-unquote Forbidden Door, right? We had no surprises. It was all left in the ring. Every single match, right? Am I correct? Every single match was left in the ring, especially Ospreay and Omega. That will be.
But
right
we
now,
had fuckery in the finish on that one, and now that leaves us at one match apiece, which means hopefully this isn't the last time that we see this match. But Liam, since you asked for it, we'll start with Omega versus Ospreay, and by far this was my match of the night. A lot of people are saying it was Okada and Danielson, but dude, for my money, I will watch Omega and Ospreay every time they're on and watch it over again after that. And you add the Don Callis thing, but please, can somebody explain to me why, when he was already thrown out, did he not only come back out, but they let him stay there through the whole rest of the match, and then the man gives him a fucking screwdriver. Again, can we please, referee? You knew he was out there. You even looked at him. So where was the security or somebody to come help him? The only security I saw was the security that Callis had that looked like some shit out of Mortal Kombat. So with that being said, what are your thoughts on Omega and Ospreay? See, the Canadian military backup. What did I say? They look. I said Mortal Kombat. Maybe that was giving them too much credit.
They messed up there, but that was the only place they messed up, right? That potentially could have been the match of the entire year. That if that wasn't a 5-star,
hands down,
I don't know what was. And guess what? When we get the third one, and it may even be when's it going to be? Maybe what? I don't know. Revolution next year. I don't know. Who knows? It ain't going to be anytime soon because they're going to make us wait. Jeremy, what up, brother? I
appreciate you, bro. Go ahead.
But Kyle, like we said, dude, there's no way you can't put a 5-star label on that match, dude. That had a story within a story. The wrestling, everything in the ring, the blood. Don Callis kind of fucking annoyed the shit out of me, but it is what it is. They messed up there. We can't be the only ones that said that, right? That Callis shouldn't have been coming back out. Like, come on.
Look,
That's
he's a Canadian, and Canada hated him.
Yeah. But dude, like I said, I'll put it on paper right now. By the end of the year, nothing's gonna top that match. That was so good. That will be the match of the year.
By far my match of the night, dude. I loved it. I like the fact that other than Callis, we didn't see like anybody else from United Empire. I mean, and it gives Kenny an out for this third match, but you got to have the third match. It's got to be the tiebreaker.
Have to.
I mean, hell, that would be a pretty good match for them to have if we go to I
mean, you think it could stretch as far as Wrestle Kingdom?
Yeah. Well, All In is in August, bro. Like, I think it's going to be at All In, bro.
You think so? I think it'll be that soon. I'd be cool with it. Trust me, I ain't gonna not watch it. But I think that's a story that's just gonna
All In or All Out.
That's just a story that could stretch for a long time.
Because think about it, they don't have. If that's the case, then they won't have another pay-per-view till Full Gear unless they start adding pay-per-views.
Right. Yeah. That's just one of those matches that, you as a wrestling fan, you crave to see it, man. And you've seen how good it was the first 2 times. Imagine the third one. Oh man, it's gonna be so good.
Definitely was my match of the night. All right, since we talked about Omega Ospreay, I'll let you pick next. What match you want to talk about?
Let's just go to the main event. Okada and Danielson. Impressive, shocking, right? I think me and you both agreed that the end of that match, I did not expect Okada to tap out. Didn't see that coming at all. But kudos to Brian Danielson.
That shocked me. And then to find out that Danielson's leg was broke.
No, it's his arm.
Crazy.
Forearm. So
his arm.
Whatever that bone is, I'm not a doctor. I don't know the fucking anatomy of the body like that. I only know the lower region.
I'll look it up and tell you in a second. But yeah, that's not
that forearm was snapped in half, dude. And he wrestled like 10 or 11 minutes with it broken. So that speaks volumes to his toughness, professionalism, and heart. That was a match he had to finish, you know what I mean? So, and that's another one. I don't think that's the last time we're going to see that. I really don't. I really don't think that's it for that particular match.
He said he thinks he fractured his right forearm. Says they're looking at him being out for 6 to 8 weeks.
I think it was his wife that tweeted out the photo of the x-ray, and that front bone is in half. So tough injury, tough break, but what a match. Hard to follow the Ospreay Omega match. I can't believe that it went down like that, to be honest. But
yeah, see, here's the tweet. The tweet, and it says lengths he'll go, fractured his arm, still won the match, but like it says, 6 to 8 weeks. It looks like that's going to be a little bit of a downtime for the American Dragon. Like I say, it was I enjoyed the hell out of that show, dude. And it was great to see Okada over here in the States. I mean, I know we've seen it before with Ring of Honor. I was there. Ring the bell. Hey, maybe that's going to be a new t-shirt, but we got to make that dollar bill, y'all. We got to make that money. But with that being said, it's like we've seen Okada over here for a while. Okada's widely considered one of the best wrestlers in the world, if not the best wrestler in the world. There you go. He rang the bell. That being said, Danielson, you got to give him all the credit in the world for breaking his arm. Still keeps going. Great match with Okada, but dude, I never would have expected Okada to submit, because now you got to run that back. So, I mean, do you think that there's a chance that we get Okada and Ospreay maybe at All In, or whenever they're going to do this match with Kenny?
Yeah, I do. I honestly, that's another match that you need to stretch out. And actually, I want to pose this question to you, because it was they really talked about this a few times during the broadcast. That match, okay, Okada Danielson, now that Danielson won that match, can you consider him the best wrestler in the world, or do you still have the overshadowing of Omega and Ospreay as the best professional wrestler in the world? And is
Well,
those guys, as they say, professional wrestling, the best wrestlers in the world? Are they in AEW?
here's the thing. So the other problem with saying that match was who the best in the world is. Well, now you just said that your world champion isn't the best in the world.
Correct.
So
I mean, I'll go as far to say it. MJF is great. MJF is unreal on the mic, on the camera. Everything MJF does is pure gold. But do I think he's the best wrestler in the world? No, I don't.
sure, and I respect that, but at the end of the day, man, the championship's got to count for something. And if you're saying the best in the world, and you've got, your champion and all this stuff, you gotta, that's got to count for something. Although I do believe both guys in that match are definitely probably higher caliber talent. Not that it's any slight on MJF, because dude, that match between him and Tanahashi was still very good. I think it was a smart move for that to go on first.
Did
but
you catch the tweet? Did you catch the tweet of MJF shortly after the match of him leaving the arena? Did you happen to catch that?
No, I didn't.
So about 15, 20 minutes after that match ended, he tweeted out a video of himself walking out of the arena, and he said, "I'm out of here, never again." Just in true MJF fashion, not staying for any more matches, not staying for the main event. I'm gone. You know what I mean? So
hey, pay me and we're going, bro. It is what it is, man. Man, all in all, it was what up, though, Donald?
What up, Donald?
Yeah,
Donald,
man, it was
sport, dog. I'm bringing the tequila.
Donald. Well, since the cat's out of the bag, no value. Uh-oh.
Turn your phone
That's
off.
not. Yeah, man. I don't know what to tell you on that one. But with that being said, sir, we will see you August 4th, because that's right. We are the official sponsors of Flophouse's Fuck No Fucks Given. That's right. We are. All right, cool. The volume is working. What up, though, Courtney? We appreciate you. Like we said, we are the sponsors of Flophouse's Fuck. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I just got a feeling that there's going to be some pretty badass interviews that might come out of that. Maybe some interviews that I've talked about for a while that I wanted to bring on that. So, like I said, shout out to Flophouse's Fuck. Shout out to Schwartzy. Shout out to Randy West. We will be in the building August 4th. SummerSlam is coming to our city. We will be in this mug, and we are sponsoring Flophouse. But I mean, J-Bone. I mean, I guess if we're talking about sponsors and things, that we should probably talk about the new sponsor of our show. That's right.
NWO. It's on you.
You heard him. He's got it. I am bringing it up here now. That's right. We have a new sponsor of the show. It is Potter's Tree Service. If you are in the market for tree removal, chipping, any of that good stuff, Potter's Tree Service has got you together. I am pulling it up as we get it set. There you go. If you're in need of tree removal, tree trimming, chipping services, stump grinding, storm damage cleanup, walnut logging, or lot clearing, Asa Potter is your guy. Asa was sitting with me in Chicago when we watched Bobby Nash go to war, and I was pissing people off in the front row because I was telling Nashy to do work. But you know what it is? We rock with our own out here. You already know, dude. We still rock with Bobby Nash. Can't wait to see him hop back in that Bellator cage. And I can't wait to see Asa come down and chop your tree. So make sure you call that number. Get your tree chopped down by Asa. I promise he'll get you together. Potter's Tree Service. Tell him Knockouts and 3 Count sent you. All right. Now that I got the biznatch out of the way, talking about saving some money, making some money, paying some bills, guess what? Money in the Bank in this bitch this weekend. How are you feeling about Money in the Bank, J-Bone?
Look, man, this is another. This pay-per-view has some sleeper matches. There's one that just got announced. Riddle and Gunther is going to be
That's gonna be a banger
match of the night. Obviously, we got the Money in the Bank matches, right? We'll get to our picks in a little bit. Those are going to be bangers. You got the Usos versus Solo and Roman Reigns, but Riddle and Gunther may steal the show, and then
Somebody
Seth
might lose a
freaking
nipple.
Rollins, you might lose a nipple. Seth freaking Rollins and Finn Balor may steal the weekend. That is going to be a banger match, and that's got some history tied to it, man. What's the other one? The other one I was just thinking about. Oh, Dom and Cody. That's another one. We'll get to it later. These are matches that are going to potential weekend stealers, bro. And we'll run down the card here in a minute, and we'll tell you why I think that. But
Okay, I think it's badass that they're in England again. My only bummer is that for people like me that work on a Saturday, it sucks because I'm going to be having to watch it while I'm trying to, do the day job, do the shoot job, brother. That being said, I'm really looking forward to this one, dude. I think both Money in the Bank matches have, some stakes to them. I've got my picks for both of them. Like you said, I think Cody and Dom is going to be a badass match. And I think after what happened on Monday, I mean, Cody's going to want to rip him apart. I think Finn Balor and Seth Rollins is going to be fucking money as long as everybody stays healthy. And I mean, dude, all in all, I feel like this is shaping up to be a hell of a card. And on the women's side, we got to see how things are going to shake out with this whole thing with Asuka, Charlotte, all that good stuff. So with that being said, where do you want to start first?
Let's start with the match that I hope opens the entire show. The women's Money in the Bank match.
All right. So let's see what we got. The women's Money in the Bank match. All right. Where we at? Women's Money in the Bank match. You got Io Sky, Trish Stratus, Zoe Stark, Bailey, Zelina Vega, and the man Becky Lynch. If you guys are watching this, if you got any picks for the Money in the Bank, let me know who it is that you guys think is going to win the Money in the Bank. For me, although I think it would be sweet to see Zelina Vega win it, or, like I've said on the show many times, I'm a big fan of Zoe Stark as well. But I don't think she's winning here. Ultimately, for me, it comes down to two people. It's either Becky Lynch or Trish Stratus, I think.
Oh, you.
I feel like
shot to the heart, man. Shot to the heart.
I feel like that's our two contenders for who's gonna win. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Part of me really kind of hopes it might be Trish.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
Just because
I could see that. I wouldn't even be mad at that. I wouldn't even be mad at.
But I think Becky's gonna. I think Becky's gonna get it.
I wouldn't be mad at Becky getting it. But the wild card in this match, and I said this back in January when I thought she was going to win the Royal Rumble. Bailey is going to be your Miss Money in the Bank. I really believe that.
That's what you think.
That's think so. Pick. My pick is Bailey, man.
That's interesting. See, here's my only thing with that. I feel like there's going to be some fuckery between her and Io Sky. And because of that fuckery, I think that they're going to finally just implode Damage Control the rest of the way. Yeah. And I think so that's why I don't think it's going to be Bailey on this one. Like I said, for me, I think it's going to be Becky, but if not Becky, I think, we could see some Stratisfaction. All right.
Never have a problem with that, do we?
I mean, look, Trish still looks good. I'm just saying. All right, let's go to the men's Money in the Bank match.
Oh, here we go.
We had the late addition of Logan Paul in this mug, and then you've got Ricochet, Shinsuke, LA Knight, Damian Priest, Butch or Pete Dunne, and Santos Escobar. I don't know, man. I think them throwing Logan Paul in this last minute definitely throws a wrench in this whole thing. I think that it's going to make things a little more interesting. But so on one hand, I feel like Logan Paul would be the best person for them to have win it, just because then you truly could say you don't know what's going to happen with it.
Sure.
That said, yeah, I think it's going to be LA Knight. I think it's got to be LA Knight. LA Knight is on a roll, even though I feel like they wanted him to be a heel. You know, he's telling the dummies what's good. And I think it's going to be LA Knight. But if it's not LA Knight, man, I really wouldn't be shocked if it's Logan. But boy, that it's going to be interesting. Who do you got?
We've been talking about this for a minute, man. This one's easy for me. This match is going to make a lot of things. Damian Priest is going to play a big role. Logan Paul is going to play a big role. Ricochet, I mean, they're going to be big spots. But at the end of it all, only one man is going to stand tall, and it is LA Knight. If he don't win, this place is going to go insane, dude. You've seen the reception he's getting on SmackDown and everywhere he goes. You've seen everything they're putting on the TikToks, the social media, the YouTubes. The guy owned Logan Paul on Logan Paul's Return to Raw, right? The crowd loved it. If it's not LA Knight, we're doing something wrong. Strap the rocket to his back, man. That's my pick. LA Knight, Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got next here. All right. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Your World Heavyweight Championship. I think this match is going to be badass. I mean, I was really excited for this match 7 years ago when Finn won the title and then had the unfortunate injury that made his reign so short. But man, for this to come around the way it has, full circle like this, I feel like these two dudes are going to tear this shit up. This match is going to be sweet. I don't think Finn is going to win the title here. I think Seth keeps the title, but I think this match is going to be badass.
Yeah, this is a weekend stealer right here. It's going to be a clinic, man. But like you said, I think it's too soon for Seth to lose the belt. We need some prestige here to that new belt. So let's just keep adding layers to that reign for Seth Rollins as long as it goes, I guess, for now. I mean, it's brand new, right? I mean, what would be the point in him losing it now? I don't think it's obviously not that time. So I'm taking Seth.
They did say they want this to be the title that's defended like that, and anything could happen. Who knows? I mean, Finn's been champion before. Who knows? But like I said, if I'm a betting man on this one, which I was a betting man this weekend, and thanks to Taporia and Macy Barber, that damn eye poke cost me a bunch of money. But I won some money on the UFC card anyway. But if I was betting on the WWE, my bet would be on Seth freaking Rollins.
Are you okay with this opening the show?
I think a Money in the Bank match is going to open and close the show.
I just seen that argument on Twitter a little bit ago. Like they're saying to open it with either Dom and Cody or the title match.
Yeah, I could see that too, because you're gonna have to give some time to the Roman versus the Civil War match. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see how they do this, because you got to give enough time to stuff. But I think this pay-per-view is gonna be a long one. I mean, ultimately they've basically considered it like one of the big five at this point. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be badass. All right. You also got the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship matches. Now, I have said on this show how many times I'm totally cool with Shayna and Ronda having the tag championships. I've said for a while that would be a great thing. You want to bring some legitimacy to these titles if that's really what they're trying to do here. Nobody better than Shayna and Ronda. I'm a big fan of them two together. We're going to see how they pair up with the rest of the tag teams. It's interesting now because this means that they have to go to NXT too because they unified those titles.
Right.
But I don't think that Raquel and Liv are going to take the titles from Ronda and Shayna. I think they're going to collect somebody's arms or choke somebody.
Yeah. I could see that, but I'm on the other side here. I think this is going to be the upset of the night. I think they're going to somehow, some way, I think we're going to get a sneak in upset here because I do think those titles are going to go back and forth to NXT. I think I can't see Ronda and Shayna on NXT at any given time. So if we can kind of blend that with Liv and Raquel, I'm cool with that. And Liv, yeah, we've been talking about Liv for a long time. She's been coming a long way. Raquel's doing her thing. I would be okay with a good upset here. And I think this is the one.
Man, I don't know.
It might not be pretty. It might be a schoolboy roll up or a backslide or something crazy, but I think we could pull off a good upset here.
Man, I don't know.
That's all you got.
All right.
Man, I don't know.
Cody versus Dom. I think this match is going to be, I mean, dude, Dom is getting nuclear heat. I thought it was dope to see Pharaoh make his WWE debut. I think this match is going to be a good match. I think Cody and Dom are going to tear it up, and I think this is going to raise Dom's stock, but I think Cody wins this match here. I don't think that there's any reason that he should lose this one.
No, you hit the nail on the head there. I think this is definitely a stock raiser for Dom, and then we're gonna get to see his skills right here. He's in there with one of the best in the world, right? And like you said, nuclear heat on this kid. He can go in there and cheat and deliver low blows and pull the tights and do everything he can and still some kind of way lose it. But like we always say, there's a difference between going over and getting over. He's going to get over heat wise with all the stuff that he does and the antics that he brings to this particular match. But Cody's going to walk out with a dub. I don't think that's in question at all. But this is a good showcase match for Dom. It's good to place him here with Cody, man. So you're going to get a lot out of this match, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. We already talked a little bit about Gunther and Riddle. And last but certainly not least, boy, this will be interesting.
Oh, I like the tear graphic in that too. They know what they're doing.
WWE knows what they're doing. Yes, that's WWE.com. You're seeing up there on your screen. The Bloodline Civil War. What are your thoughts on the Bloodline Civil War, and how do you think this is going to shake out at the O2?
Bro, for me, it's a coin flip. You got arguably the greatest tag team in the world in the Usos, right? But storyline-wise, where do we go if the Usos win this match? Because the only thing that I feel like is going to stretch this story out is if Roman and Solo somehow sneak by with a victory, leaving more things in question. Yeah.
I disagree because what if the Usos win and then what? Who's Roman going to blame? Then what? You going to blame Solo too? So then
I
what?
Think,
that
I
really leaves you by yourself.
I think there's going to be some kind of, like you said, fuckery. There's going to be some kind of accidental wrong mistake of move or whatever. Something's going to happen. And I think because we still got the Roman Reigns thing, right? The guy has only lost, 2 times in how many fucking years now? I don't know. But we got to extend the story. We still got to keep going. We're going to still bring chapters to this. And if we can somehow make us have more questions and answers at the end of this match, I think that's what's going to happen. So this particular one, I'm taking Roman and Solo.
I disagree. I think the Usos got to win this one. I feel like they got to get their get back on this one to me. And I feel like by Roman and Solo losing, however that happens, because I think Solo would have to take the pin. But at the same time, if that's how it goes down, well, then how's Roman going to deal with that with Solo? You made Solo out like he's the next killer, he's the next this, he's the next that. Well, then when you lose, then what? You got nobody else to blame but him, unless Paul Heyman then becomes the next, the next one for him to blame. So that being said, dude, it's
I love that we
I don't
still
know.
have so many questions, though. Like, right? Isn't that what Wrestling 101 is? Leave us with more. We want more. We need more, right? We're gonna have a lot of questions at the end of this still. I think that's the beauty of it. It's theater, like they've been saying. It's theater, man.
Yeah, man. I can't argue that. It's like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I think we've said it multiple times in the last, however many 3 years since this shit started. And we've said that the Bloodline story is the best story of the last 3 years. I mean, there's no other way to put it, man.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm interested to see what happens. If you guys got any picks on Money in the Bank, let us know what you think. Last but not least, speaking of Money in the Bank, I got Money in the Bank because of the UFC. And because of the UFC, let's talk about that a little bit and what we had going on there. All right. Shout out to Brendan Allen. What a fucking fight with him and Bruno Silva. I mean, good Lord, man. Like, them two dudes beat the shit out of each other. And it was tough for him in the beginning for Brendan Allen to... I mean, I'm going to let Nate clarify what's going on in the comments over here.
Oh, God. Let me see.
I mean, I hear weird things.
He's not wrong. I mean,
I got one of those too, but
he's not wrong. What
you
up,
know.
Nate?
But Brendan Allen, dude, he had a nasty finish. He's calling for Israel Adesanya to want to fight with him next. With a finish like that, man, it's kind of hard for that not to be at least, if not next, in the pipeline for Brendan Allen. What were your thoughts on Brendan Allen and Bruno Silva?
Great performance by him. What is that? 4 in a row by submission now, right? Something like that. I mean,
something like that, and he was cracking too.
Yeah, he was out there. He's banging with Bruno Silva, man. I was surprised because Silva's got power. He's got power, and he can knock anybody out on any given night. And Brendan Allen really pushed through that and found what he needed to do. His strategy was to get a submission. Like I said, he's been submitting guys. I think it's the past 3 or 4, something like that. So I would love to see him take on Adesanya. I mean, I think he's got a couple fights to go.
Oh, he's got a few fights to go, especially if we're going by rankings. But I mean, then again, the UFC jumps all over their rankings. But
sure.
We also had, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up. Shout out to Neil Magny and Philly Rowe. That was a hell of a fight. There was a split decision for Neil Magny, but another banger of a fight. Phil Rowe's in there banging. Shout out to David Onama, bro. Everybody's talking all this on Gabriel Santos. I put a little bit of scratch on David Onama. Won me a little bit of money off of that one. And then my parlay just got jacked up because of that finger poke,
Yeah.
But, man, what do you think about David Onama and Gabriel Santos?
Hey, he proved me wrong because my money was the other way. But what a knockout. What a performance, man. He weathered the storm of Gabriel Santos, who looked sharp, honestly. In round 1, he looked sharp. But he got caught. He got put out, man.
I feel like Onama wasn't hitting him with like the most strong punches, but he was constantly just popping them.
Yeah.
And over time, it just became like he just kept popping them until eventually those pops started to really hurt him.
Found his shot,
Right. And then once he got there, just whacked, he went down. Like I said, I won some money off it. I wish I would have taken that by knockout, but that being said, it's all good.
Yeah.
This fight, good Lord Almighty, the eye poke from hell. This one messed up my parlay. But dude, Austin Lane and Tafa, do you want to see them run this back? And man, how gnarly was that eye poke?
I think they need to run it back. So that was a fight me and you and Corey were talking about last week. That was going to be a banger heavyweight fight, man. And that may have been the worst eye poke I've ever seen, dude. That was deep. It was
at least the worst of recent memory.
Yeah. I mean, only other one that comes to mind recently is the Bilal Muhammad eye poke, right? With Leon Edwards. Deep eye pokes, man. And this one, so bad. But yeah, I think they need to run it back as soon as they can. Because that was a fight that everybody was looking forward to. It had knockout written all over it. So why not get healthy, and run it back?
Yeah, I could see that. It's going to take him a little minute to heal up that eye, but man, that was gnarly. All right, next fight, you had Amanda Hebos versus Macy Barber. What a banger this fight was. Good Lord, these two ladies got in there and were throwing down, bro.
Yeah. I'm talking leaking from the noses, man. But what a performance by Macy Barber, right? Putting her away. When I did my parlay, I didn't have her winning by TKO. I had her winning by decision. But way to put it on her back and put her away. Way to get the finish. Macy Barber's a problem. We've been talking about that for a minute. She is.
And Amanda Hebos is no slouch.
No slouch. But Macy Barber is a problem in the women's flyweight division, man. So look out for her.
Bro, that was like I said, I don't know what else to say other than that was a nasty fight, dude. So I enjoyed the hell out of that fight. I had Macy winning, but I just had it by I had it down by just regular just however she won. I had it by money line. So
yeah.
it was all good for me on that one.
Did that end up getting fight of the night?
Shit, it should have. I know Onama got performance of the night. And then the last fight of the night, you had Ilya Taporia, who's been just a bulldozer, who beat the hell out of Josh Emmett for 5 rounds. But the 2 legs out of my parlay hit, we were looking all right. It was a good time, bro. And like I said, this Thursday, 9 p.m., we're going to be joined by my partner, Drew All Day Murray from Lights Out Championship 12, and possibly Matt Friendo will be talking about those fights and also preview the UFC this weekend in the big fight for Volk and Yair Rodriguez. Shout out to past guests of the show and on this season of The Ultimate Fighter, Mondo Gutierrez, who is out there helping Yair wrap up camp for this one. What were your thoughts on Taporia and Emmett?
Man, Taporia just coasted the whole time. I mean, Emmett had some good moments in that fight, but man, did he take a beating. I mean, I expected a finish. It was cool to see it go 5 rounds, and shout out to Josh Emmett for weathering the storm for 5 rounds. Like I said, he took an ass whooping. But Taporia, man, put on a clinic. He's a killer. What's next for him? Kyle, you got any thoughts on that?
I mean, it's kind of hard not to say that guy has got to be going somewhere towards the title. I mean, hot damn, dude, that guy is killing people. I mean, if nothing else, he's got to be, at least a top 5 fight, if nothing else, next. I mean, that seems like the only logical thing that I can see that makes any sense.
Were you surprised he didn't finish?
That he didn't finish? I kind of was with how bad of a beating it was, but I mean, again, I'm also a fan of Emmett, and I know how tough Josh Emmett is. So at the same time, dude, I'm not surprised that there wasn't a finish, I guess, maybe, but at the same time, bro, that was nasty.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, man, what do you think? We're getting about to the end here. Like I said, we let them know what we got this Thursday. We let them know about our new sponsor, Potter's Tree Service. We let them know that we are the proud sponsors of No Fucks Given for Flophouse as Fuck. What do you think? We show them one more clip of our interview with Rob Van Dam before we get out of here?
The whole fucking show, baby. Let's go.
All right. Let's see what we got. Video file. There you go. What was Rob Van Dam's favorite theme song? J-Bone, what was your favorite theme song from Rob Van Dam?
Oh, come on. I got to pick the Pantera song, right? Walk.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard not to
Classic.
say that.
That's a classic. So
anybody who's watching, if you guys are RVD fans, did you have a favorite RVD theme song? Well, we're going to let Rob tell you what his favorite theme song of it was. And if you haven't checked it out yet, I'm going to throw the link for our RVD interview in there one more time. This was Rob's favorite theme song. Again, shout out to the fine people at Astronomicon. Shout out to Astronomicon 6.5. It was a good time. But let's walk a little bit, huh?
I loved coming out to Pantera. The vibe that comes from that was just so perfect for me, my situation, my environment, and obviously at work the fans loved it. Everybody connected with it, and so that's always like. So now when I hear that, like, I still wrestle, and the promoter will usually say, you know, I'll go often say what song, you know,
which song do you want?
You know, I came here, this is your town, these are your fans, you know them, so yeah, whatever you think is fine with me. And I usually don't know until I come out, and when I hear that walk, I'm just like, yes, because that means it's an ACW kind of crowd, and that means they saw me doing what I really love doing, and not that I didn't love doing WWE, but they know me in that depth. And likewise, when the first beat from One of a Kind hits, that also drove the excitement from the fans. It's just different.
I don't know, man. It was a dope time. It was great to talk to the whole fucking show. Like I said, that's about the whole fucking show for us tonight, man. Shout out to our new sponsors, Potter's Tree Service. Shout out to Astronomicon. Shout out to Darren McCarty. Shout out to Flophouse as fuck. Check them out August 4th. If you're coming into town for SummerSlam, make sure you check them out. Make sure you check out Knockouts and 3 Counts. And like I said, this Thursday, 9 p.m., Drew All Day Murray will be here to talk about Lights Out Championship from this past weekend. And we will also get into UFC and Alexander Volkanovski and Yair Rodriguez. So until next time and in the in-between time, peace.